Welcome to the Jim Show with your host, Jim. Today I'm thinking a lot about being authentic and how we do that and how we get there and how a lot of our lives are a lie, or a lot of our life can be a lie. I spent most of my life being the person that the world told me to be. Right? As a child, I was someone that liked, what? What did I like? And what did you like as a child? Who were you before you became the person that the world told you you should be? Because maybe that is part of your authentic self, the person that you were as a kid. I was inquisitive. I like to take things apart and pretend that I was going to use them all to build something new. I remember I took apart one of the neighborhood kids, like all his toys. This was my great plan. And then I was going to build something amazing out of those toys, which of course never happened, and we just got in a lot of trouble. But that was the kind of stuff I did as a kid. I wanted to figure out how things worked. I liked to look into systems and figure out how to optimize them. I really liked programming when I first found out about it. It was really interesting to me how you could make something do the things you wanted it to do. I liked Legos. I liked to build things. I liked to create. I remember I wanted to be an architect when I was very young. But a lot of that time of my life was shaped by, the things that school told me I should do, the things that my parents told me I should do, the things that society told me I should do. I planned to wait till I got married to have sex, and then have some kids, and that was the life I was going to have as a very young person. That's what I thought. I was very straight edge. I never tried a cigarette. I didn't do any drugs. I didn't drink underage. And then, so I went to high school. I was still doing all those same things. I was a Boy Scout. I became an Eagle Scout. Went to high school. And then I ended up in the military. Like out of nowhere. That was not a plan. A guidance counselor asked me, "What do you want to do? Have you looked at the military academies?" No, I had never even thought about it. I ended up at West Point for a summer. It was the Invitational Academic Workshop. So you would go there as a junior in high school, and you would check it out. I thought it was really neat. I thought I had no chance of doing it, and this is also something that I've always kind of had an issue with, is thinking less of myself than I probably should, putting myself down. I think a lot of people struggle with this. So I was doing that. I thought it would be very hard for me to get in. So I decided that was what I was going to do. I wasn't going to apply anywhere else. I was only going to apply to West Point early action, so that if I didn't get in, then I could try to do something else. So I ended up getting in, and that, decided the next 15 years of my life. That choice that I didn't really make, right? It wasn't a conscious decision. I was just going with it. And I can only assume that's what I was supposed to do. That's kind of the way I see life. You go with the flow and you do the things that you need to do. I learned a lot of valuable lessons from that experience, but it wasn't conscious choice to start it. It was just going with where universe took me. And I put on this whole persona, right? I was Cadet Torres, and then later Lieutenant, Captain, and Major Torres, right? Hey, I'm Major Jim. Like it wasn't me. It wasn't who I was. It was a mask that I wore. Throughout that time, I also was the Jimbo, which was a guy. He was a womanizer that drank too much, and that's who I was. It was a persona that I fit into because I'd always been very shy, and I was jealous of the guys that could go out and be very gregarious with other people, very funny and engaging. And when I saw them doing that, I wanted to be that way. And so when they weren't around, I became that guy. So like I said, I was the Jimbo, and then I was I was JT who would get JT crazy, very similar kind of persona that I filled for a while in those social groups. So I really, it was weird because I had, the army guy who was very reserved and straight edge and followed the rules, and then there was this other crazy part of me, and I think that was because I wasn't balanced in my life. Right, I was wearing two masks that were kind of opposite, while the real me was somewhere there in the middle of all of that, and it caused a lot of problems for my life. Because I also had these images of myself as a good father and a good husband, which I obviously was not being throughout those time periods. And I blamed a lot of things on other people. I had two wives throughout that time period, and two divorces. I had children with my second wife, and we have worked things out now, but I had a really big role to play in the issues that I didn't see at the time, because I had these self-justifying images of myself, and I wasn't being who I really was. I was playing a role, and it's taken a long time for me to figure that out, that's what was going on. It took a lot of introspection. It took a lot of reading different books, like Leadership and Self-Deception really showed me what was going on, how I was treating other people as objects, how I had these self-justifying images of myself that I carried around, these lies I told myself about who I was. And whenever they were challenged, it was, attack against my psyche, against my ego. So it took a long time to figure that out, what had been going on and the role that I had to play in all of it. But it's brought me to a place now where I'm a lot more comfortable with who I actually am, right? And that took years, so many years. I finally got out of the Army. I'm still kind of doing things that I don't want to be doing, for income. I'm not quite where I want to be. I'm working on the whole concept of how can I serve the people that I want to have in my life? How can I serve them? And through serving them, make an income that I can live off of. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. And I think that, these videos are part of that. This personal development stuff that I'm working on is part of that. I feel like coaching could be part of that. So I'm figuring it out. I'm working on it. But it's a journey. But I absolutely think that being your authentic self is what it's all about. I know I mentioned this before, but that's why we're here. That is our purpose. And so I keep feeling into that. What does that mean for me? And I've struggled. It's like the hardest thing, because my basic needs have been met. They always have been. I was very fortunate to have well-off parents, and so I didn't really want for anything, growing up. Then I was in the military, and again, it was a difficult life in some respects, but not in terms of getting my needs met. It was a stressful life, but the basic needs have always been met, and so I've never been driven by that, right? I've never had a drive to meet my needs because they've always been met. And so what drives you after that? I think it's a problem a lot of people have. If your basic needs are met, you can just coast on through life. Go to work, come home, relax, party on the weekend, and then do it all over again. And that's what I did for a long time. And that's what I've, changed in the last year of my life. I've changed that. I've moved away from that. I've eliminated those distractions, which has left me with space, right? It's left me with empty space, which is good. I don't feel a great need to fill it with distractions. And so I'm trying to figure out what I do need to fill it with. I want to fill it with these people that are motivated to change their lives, change the world. I want to fill it with those people, and I want to fill it with providing value to them. And I think, again, I suffer with this idea that I don't have value to provide. Or I think a lot of people, again, suffer with that, deal with that. But I'm getting past it. That's why I'm doing this. I believe that this provides value to other people. I think that being my authentic self is a purposeful, valuable thing to do, and so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm just going to drive forward. I'm going to use the 5-second rule to do things I'm not comfortable with, to make videos and post them on YouTube. Throw them out there and see what sticks, right? I'm gonna try to coach people. I'm kind of working on a program to be your authentic self system, the authentic self system, right? My ass will work for you. That's the initial name. I think it's gonna be your authentic self system, the Yaz. At least that's the working name of what I'm trying to put together. But I'm going to keep working on that. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it more in the videos or what exactly. I think there's numerous ways I could go with it, but I'm just going to drive forward with that. I feel, for the first time, I really feel like this is something that I'm supposed to be doing with my life. So I hope this has been interesting, a little bit more about me. See you guys next time.